First of all, thank you for the audience for being here in such a big number. I have to say, since my involvement in July in these matters of connection with Armenia, not that that connection is new. I have always had as an Armenian relationship with Armenia, but the sense of responsibility probably was triggered by the incidents that most of us are probably aware of in terms of the July and even earlier situation of the war in April in Armenia. I think we got a different sense of understanding of the things that have been going wrong in Armenia. So thank you for being here. This is a big audience for that. It hasn't been so until now in terms of my own experience speaking out. So what is going on in Armenia is nothing new. I think Irina sort of brought it up in an interesting way. I think from the day of independence, Armenia has been forming its social and political sort of identity on shaky grounds, and that the geopolitical environment gave us all, Diaspora and Armenia, a sense of belief that security being the most important issue for the country, that we should create the status quo and stick to it. Except that status quo is the biggest danger today as we speak for Armenia, and not necessarily the arguments that have been presented and have been partly right until now in terms of unfriendly neighbors and so on. I think what is really important in this conversation is the relationship between two civil societies, and I don't know if it's an accurate academically sort of definition, but there is such a thing as a civil society in Armenia. We know that, however outspoken they have been able to be, or they have had the chance to be, and there is a civil society in the diaspora. And this connection has not until now worked out in any significant way. And maybe 25 years later of independence that we have been proudly celebrating as Armenians around the world, this is the time to understand that to support a state also means to support a civil society, the people. We have not heard from the people of Armenia over the last 25 years. We have heard from the different governments, authorities that have represented or tried to represent that voice, but we know that that connection is not there. I am speaking in terms of my own experience, something that inadvertently sort of I felt that I'm responsible of, other than interested in, when I have been asked, literally asked in the streets, in places where I would be in Yerevan or in Armenia in that matter, that the diaspora takes on the responsibility of backing all the efforts that the civil society in the country is trying to put in place. The efforts and the will for it are very diverse, very shaky, very complicated, very complex, but the most important thing is that there is still a little bit of hope that something can be changed, but that change can only happen with our involvement, our engagement. So to all of these people who ask me, or they say, but why would you're a diasporan Armenian, you're not an Armenian citizen, why would you be getting involved in that? I would like to answer today that in this global age, we are responsible of anything that happens around the world to children, to women, to societies that are under dictatorships. We have the voices of expressing our opinions. We have the responsibility we feel as part of this global village, if I may kind of use that sort of funny expression. But we all have given ourselves as citizens of Canada, United States, France, Argentina, doesn't matter, to be involved in matters of the world. We do carry that responsibility with ease. How is it that the Armenian diaspora doesn't feel today that we have a say in what's going on in Armenia? The people of Armenia are specifically calling for our input, not our involvement as in dictating what should happen, but our involvement in making them believe that we can be the leverage and the resource to help them understand what are the options that they can actually bring from the bottom up, because this relationship is the one that we have not catered to, and we have to stop in the diaspora to think that the only way is to keep the status quo as it has been through the support of an imagined state that is actually effectively in many of its institutions taken over by a government and oligarchy that is not doing what the people need. And in the face of depopulation, which is the biggest security problem for Armenia today, we cannot today say that we don't have a role to play in terms of providing what they're asking from us, which is support, empowerment. This is all I have to say.